Hi, everyone. So this video is to describe the three-brain optimization program and give you more details as to how the program is laid out. So whether you have been a Zira mind and body patient for years, or you've been a previous coaching client in the Master Your Migraine coaching program, or just coming in for the first time to learn about the program, let me go through the steps that are involved in this very specific program. So first, I've been practicing for about 20 years. I can't believe it's been almost 2 decades. And I started as a board certified neurologist focusing on migraine. What I realized early in my training was that a lot of individuals were focusing on the acute problem, which was the pain, and forgetting about the system as a whole. Now, I'll take you back a few years. I was struggling with insomnia when I was a medical student. And in my first year of medical school, I had such incapacitating insomnia that I was planning to quit med school. And I had gone to a really good friend of the family, a psychiatrist who spent, about 10 minutes with me, asked me about 7 questions, and diagnosed me with depression. Now, this was when I was 23 years old, and I had never been given a diagnosis before, never been given a pill to take on a daily basis. And he recommended Prozac. And this was my big moment in my life where I look back at that and I really do believe things happen for us and not to us. And I look back at that moment and I'm actually really grateful and thankful for that moment, because it was then that I went back to my car, sat there with a prescription of Prozac, asked myself, do I really have depression? I mean, I can't sleep and I haven't been able to sleep for a few months, yet is the root cause of this depression. And here I was a first year medical student, right? So what I realized in that moment and what I utilized in that moment was my gut intuition to guide me in the right direction. And that was the first of many times where I've trusted my gut. And I've realized that there is always something within us that's telling us right from wrong. It's whether or not we choose to listen to it. And sometimes we don't have the ability to tap into our intuition or listen to it because our mind is so busy thinking and worried and stressed. And I do believe stress has such a toll and takes such a toll on the mind and body that from that moment onwards, I realized that I had to do something about my insomnia that would involve me changing who I was, because obviously there was something within me that was allowing myself to trigger the sleep issues. Now, I can say that now. I wasn't so wise in my 20s. All I can say is the one wise thing I did was I did not take the Prozac. I decided that I didn't believe the diagnosis of depression was true for me. It just didn't feel right for me. And I didn't know the next step to take. I just knew that that was a step I didn't want to take, if that makes sense. So then I went to the bookstores, went to the self-help section, started reading books on mind, body, spirit, read books by, some of them are behind me. Bernie Siegel, Love, Medicine, and Miracles. Oh my gosh, Andrew Weil, his book, Spontaneous Healing. Then I got into the Ayurvedic literature and started reading about, from Deepak Chopra, perfect health and how to obtain perfect health. And here I was in medical school, right? My dad was a doctor. And I grew up with a lot of doctors. It was like in my program to go to medical school because that's kind of what I knew. And yet I don't really know if I really resonated with the current medical model at that time, because I didn't really agree with that diagnosis, nor did I agree with the prescription. And I knew there was something underneath it. I knew there was something underneath it that was triggering my sleep issues. And I remember I'd seen a therapist and the therapist asked me if I was stressed out. And I said, no, because at 23, I didn't even know what stressed was. Yet everything I was doing, from what I was eating to how I was thinking to the friends I hung out with, were actually activating my stress response system and thus leading to problem sleeping. So the answer wasn't going to be just taking Prozac. The answer wasn't going to be taking an Ambien, which I did take Ambien, for those of you that have tried that. And I got into not one, but 2 car accidents after taking Ambien. And I realized that that model wasn't going to work for me at that time. And I started to delve into all of these really interesting readings on mind, body, spirit. And yes, my journey into this really began in my 20s. As I moved on and did my training in neurology, now mind you, I had done training in psychiatry and family practice before neurology, because I've been fascinated with the processing of the mind and how we think and how we behave and how we interact with our environment. What I realized was that I started working in a headache clinic. As I mentioned earlier, the focus was on the acute pain. The focus was on, doctor, get me out of pain. And I got really good at that. I was really good at prescribing medications, very good at doing injections. I did a paper on Botox. I wrote a paper on Botox and got it published. 8 years before I got FDA approved for migraine, I was actually injecting Botox. And like I said, I was really good at the procedures and really good at the prescribing. And I knew how to combine medications in a way to get people to pain freedom. Yet I kept thinking to myself, and I think of that quote by Stephen Covey, begin with the end in mind. And I kept saying to myself, if I just keep on chasing away the pain, what's going to happen 5 or 10 years down the road? What's going to happen if I don't think of the bigger picture? If I kept taking the Ambien for myself, or if I took Prozac for depression that really was secondary to the sleep issues, what was going to happen to me 5, 10 years down the road? And I realized very quickly that I had to make some changes. And so as I was in that first practice, it was interesting because I was learning so much. I was doing extra training in psychopharmacology when I joined that first practice. I was doing a lot of teaching for pharma companies, teaching doctors on how to prescribe pills, and attending different meetings on opiates and the use of opiates for migraine. I remember that way back when. And I remember my gut saying, I don't know about that. And what happened was I realized that I had to go back and study Ayurveda. So I went back and certified in Ayurvedic medicine. And I started using it in my practice. And for those of you that are following me on the Zira Mind and Body, you were there and you saw me transition. And some of you have known me since that original practice I was in and have seen me evolve. And I started realizing that the gut and the brain are very much linked together. And I started realizing that our mind and the way we perceive stress plays a huge role in our outcome when it comes to pain and when it comes to health and poor health in general. So as I started studying Ayurveda, started using Ayurvedic techniques, opened up, and co-directed a wellness center in Highland Park for those of you that joined me there, ran that center for a few years, and then decided to create Zira Mind and Body Center. The goal has always been, and my tagline for Zira Mind and Body is, healing your head involves healing your mind and body. And what I realized was that, for us to get rid of whatever's on the surface, be it migraine or overwhelm or anxiety or stress or disconnect or feeling stuck, whatever it is on the surface, we've got to look at the why behind it. And it isn't as simple as just taking a pill. Now, I'm not saying if you're on a pill to stop it or to change it, because of course, prescriptions, as you guys know, I do practice Western medicine too. I do believe in prescription medications. Yet, if you're not taking the time to explore the why behind it, the reality is the meds can only work for so long. And quite frankly, I've been doing this a long time, the medications can start creating side effects. And what's really interesting is if you don't listen to the why behind it, the pain becomes louder, the voice becomes louder, because your body is always trying to tell you when it's in danger. You see, pain, stress, anxiety, overwhelm, that is your body's way of telling you you are not aligned. When I think of migraine, I think of a brain in conflict. There's something I'd say even a body in conflict. There's something in conflict with your system that's generating the pain signal. And so as this became very clear to me, and I started looking at those that did really well in my clinical practice, like who succeeded, what I found was they were following an approach. They were working with their thought patterns, they're working with their emotional body, and they're working with their gut health. And those 3 areas, if you work on those 3 areas, thinking brain, feeling brain, doing brain, which is the gut microbiome, your whole system shifts. And the beautiful thing is that Ayurvedic medicine, traditional Chinese medicine, all these ancient healing techniques have talked about this. They've pretty much created this platform and this protocol thousands of years ago for us to really use the model and use it in our really Western worlds. The challenge is it's been a little enigmatic for a lot of people. They've tried to delve into that, and it seems a little daunting, which I understand. And coming from someone who's practiced a lot of these techniques, I've done transcendental meditation, I've been practicing yoga. I'm actually going to head out to yoga class after this. I've practiced a lot of these things. What I've realized is that if you can practice it and use these tools in a way that your body can shift and resonate with each step of the process, you can change the dynamic of who you are in terms of your program. Let me get into program for a second, because I eventually, as I shifted and grew and developed Zira mind and body, I started thinking, I want to go deeper here. I want to understand, why do I get people to a certain place in their pain cycles, but then they stop? I improve their gut health. I improve their mind health. I get them meditating, yoga, doing whatever, taking supplements and nutrients, all these great things, but then they stop getting better, or they stay stagnant. And, I'm kind of that person that wants to keep going until I figure this all out. And I realized the missing piece was the program. And for so many of us, because of our early childhood upbringing, because of the parenting and the exposure of the people around us, maybe it's the religion or the cultural upbringing we were in, we have a program. And that program is really brought into us between ages 0 to 7. That's when our brain is in theta delta wave patterns. And we then in our teens and our 20s decide to either honor that program or not honor that program. And when we have conflict with our family, friends, parents, whomever, it's because there's a program that's within us that doesn't match the program we were given. And so we start to develop struggles and challenges in our life. And these challenges can manifest in your career, in your relationships, and in your health. Those are 3 big areas. And of course, in your family. And the goal is to understand what's behind that. Like for me and my insomnia, what's behind that? For you and your migraine or anxiety or overwhelm, what's behind that? Okay, what is underneath it? And to delve into that. Because I'm going to tell you one thing, what NLP, neuro-linguistic programming is, it's understanding your program and breaking it and realizing that the program that's giving you the migraine, the program that was giving me the insomnia, the program that was creating problems with career or relationships or family dynamics that you have in your life, that program can be broken. You just have to, at the conscious level, understand what that program is and then change it at the subconscious level, which I know sounds a little bit out there, but it's really cool because the techniques that I've learned allow you to recognize what the program is at the conscious level and then break it. So the 3 brain optimization program, I took a long time putting it together. And big picture is I'm going into this mindset coaching, focusing on health, wellness, career, and relationships. And my goal is to allow you to see what your program is and to break that program. It's painful for me in the Zira clinic, the way it is now, to have people come in and to express that things were well for a while, and then suddenly the migraines began again, or suddenly they start getting stressed and having sleep issues again. Because I know it's because there's a program, and the program's at the subconscious level, that needs to be broken. And yet in our 30-minute visit, there's no way I'm going to be able to break that program. It has to be done in a very specific way. So I've taken a lot of time to put together Ayurvedic wisdom, NLP wisdom, functional medicine wisdom into this 3 brain optimization program. It's 27 videos. I've made them 10 minutes each. For those of you that were in my Master Your Migraine program, I know that was really a lot of work. That was 10 videos, an hour each, which was really heavy work. What I did is I took some of that information I learned from that teaching and those programs, added NLP, added a lot of other things that I've learned over the years, and really made it doable in a way that it's only a 10-minute video. My goal is to have you watch 3 videos a week, do 1 coaching call a week for 3 weeks, and then take a week off. For those of you that want to do this in a more slower fashion, or for those of you that have done some of this work already because you've been in some of my other programs, you could even do these, the coaching calls every 2 or 3 weeks. The goal is to get through the material, make sure you cover all of your bases because each module is set up in a certain way. So as you complete, the videos in week 1, you move on to videos in week 2, and you've started implementing some of the tools I teach you. We have our coaching call. We go into what we call a breakthrough session, which is really go through what is the root cause of your overlying imbalance, whatever it may be it migraine, overwhelm, anxiety, disconnect, stress, whatever it is. we go into that at the coaching calls, yet you use the videos to practice some techniques. And then during the coaching call, I quickly move things forward. As a coach, what I'm going to do is find where the gaps are and give you tools and get you stronger and stronger and stronger every visit. So you get wiser and wiser and wiser. My goal at the end of the program is you know yourself so well. You've gotten to know yourself so well. You've broken the program that's given you the imbalance in whatever area of life you've decided to choose. For a lot of you, it may be health. For some of you, it may be health and career, or health and relationships, or health and family, whatever it may be. My goal is to work with you on those areas of life to get to the root cause of why you're stuck and why you're not evolving, and to break the program that's creating imbalance. Because, hey, everybody's got baggage. We come into this world, we bring on things, and also we grow up in an environment that oftentimes isn't aligned with us. So we carry that baggage into our lives, and unfortunately, it creates repeated cycles of migraine, or repeated cycles of your job. Maybe you're having career issues, or relationship issues, or family dynamic issues. And unless you get to root cause that, my friends, I'm just going to tell you, it gets worse. It gets worse and worse and worse. And then I watched with those that don't break the program, the body and the brain gets louder. And that's what I mentioned earlier about taking a medication. The medication may stop working or give you side effects, because the medication is there to kind of give you a bridge so you can get to the root cause of why that migraine came to the surface. And if you don't start exploring that, and you're taking a medication and you just expect the medication to do it for you, I'm going to tell you, quite frankly, the medication doesn't have that much magic. It can get you feeling better for a while, yet your goal is to explore the why behind it and to break the program. And the beauty is, because, I've done East and West, I've had people take medications and do this kind of work. It's really cool to watch people improve their program, break those patterns, and then not need the medication anymore, and then not need to see me anymore. That's kind of cool. Even though I love seeing you guys, it's really nice to see people break those patterns, break their programs, get past what was holding them back from really thriving in life, and really get to a place of optimal mind, body, and spirit. So the 3-brain optimization program really goes through your thinking brain, your feeling brain, getting you really intuitive. In Ayurvedic medicine, the belief is that we have disease because of something called pragya parad. Pragya parad is a mistake of the intellect. We keep choosing the wrong foods, choosing the wrong people in our lives, choosing the wrong careers, and we don't do things that are in alignment with us, and then that creates imbalance. So pragya parad, the mistake of the intellect, is the cause of disease. And my goal is to get you out of that pragya parad, to wake you all up to your reality, to get you connected with your authentic self, to get you aligned from your 3 doshic states, vata, pitta, kapha, to get you into a harmony, which is really then going to allow your migraines to improve, your stress to improve, your digestion to improve, your entire body to feel fantastic. And that's my goal in my next years of living, is to get people to break their programs, to get connected with themselves, and to really allow you guys to thrive in your best way you can. And the 3rd brain is really the microbiome, and we delve a lot into looking, for those that are interested in the food intolerance testing, microbiome testing, if you want to do that, and really repairing and strengthening the microbiome. 70% of your immune system is in your gut. So getting your microbiome as strong as possible. So that's it in a nutshell. The 27 videos, 10 minutes each, coaching call every week or every 2 or 3 weeks, depending on how we lay it out. The pricing will be in a handout that we will send to you and deliver to you. If you've done some other, coaching with me through the Master Migraine program, or done a lot of work with Zira, we may look at that pricing and change it, modify it for you based on what you've already done. I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of material in here that's brand new, because I put this whole thing together. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of overlap, even if you've done other coaching programs. I did use the Master Your Migraine coaching program to help me create this one, took some pieces from it, but there's a lot of new things. And the way I laid this out, I personally think it's phenomenal. And I already have some people in this 3-brain optimization program who are doing well. And I'm so excited to just share this with all of you. So if you'd like to join, please let us know. If you want to watch if you haven't seen the masterclass that's on the triptygokanimd.com website, click on Learn More, and you can watch a masterclass that goes into the 5 shifts that I think can give you optimization of your 3 brains. At the end of that, it'll ask you to apply and because you can apply for a consultation and apply for a call with our team, just to make sure that you'd be the right fit for this program. We're the right fit for you and to guide you down that next path. If you're an existing Zira client or patient, if you're an existing coaching client, just contact us and we can kind of take you forward on the next steps to join this. One thing to keep in mind is I am only going to take a limited number of individuals because, as I've told you, for some, I'm doing one-on-one, once a week coaching calls. I can only take a certain number of people for that program. And so I'm going to just tell you quite frankly, if you're interested, please sign up quickly, because I'm not sure how long I'll be able to offer this and for how many people I can offer this to, because this is going to take a lot of time on my end. I'm more than happy to give it to do the coaching work individually. And I have a lot of people in my practice. And so if you are interested and if you'd like to join on this next journey, I'd be really grateful to have you, and so grateful and thankful for you to join me on this, because I know that this is going to transform you when you do this program, because it transformed me. It's changed who I am. The way I perceive stress, the way I perceive the world is completely different than I did just a few years ago. And it's really cool for me to be able to offer this in a way that I think can be very efficient, can be very tangible, and not so enigmatic as ancient science can be sometimes. I've put it into a very practical, very Western model that you can implement immediately in your day-to-day living. You'll start feeling better week one, I can tell you that. So thank you for listening and watching this. If you'd like more details on the details of the pricing of the program, more than happy to send that to you. Keep in mind, when I did the Master Your Migraine program, it was $5,000 a person. I have definitely changed the pricing on this because I understand that that is not obtainable for a lot of people, though I could have kept doing that. And I was getting fantastic testimonials for those of you that have done the program. I have recordings of those testimonials for anyone that wants to watch them. Yet I realized I want to really deliver this material out to the masses. And I want really everyone, I would love for you to learn how you can break your own program. And so I have changed the pricing structure quite a bit to allow for more people to enter in. Though keep in mind, because I do speaking, because I'm the chief medical officer for Saffron and Sage, I wear a lot of different hats. The coaching work is only a small piece of all of the work that I'm doing. I'm still training doctors and all these things. So I've got a lot of things that I do in my time, yet this is such an important thing to teach you guys. I'd love to be here to share this with you. So please join me on this mission if you feel called. And if it's not right for you at this time, let us know. And maybe at a future time you can join. I just don't know if the price point will stay the same in the future. All right, guys, love you all. Wishing you lots of peace and happiness and health in this world. Thank you for listening. Take care.